the Smith people come from Marshall, Smith Motor Works, and they looked over the lift station down here, and they found some bad stuff. It's bad. It's fixed. They charged us $393 to come up here. Then they got this list of stuff we need to fix it back. And that didn't fix the motor either. That didn't even count the motor. And this trip, they make it be $400.
Without fixing anything.
$7 more.
Well, they'd be putting on the overload, but not the motor. They don't work on motors.
Okay, so they'll install, how much is the equipment they were going to
well, we
fix
go
this?
either way. If we're going to keep it the same, there's two of these over there. The replacement overload is $225, including shipping. If we want to put,
Both motors?
yeah, it's cheaper this way, but they got to come up and wire it though. Of course, I guess we would the other one too. But it's $221 for two of them, brand new ones.
So why would we replace one for more money than it costs to replace two with new ones?
Because they've changed them. They won't work.
The old ones won't work?
Yeah, the old ones, the new ones, it's got to be all
Compatible. And either of those prices is compatible? Or only one?
Well, this here, they'll put two new ones on. This here, they will just replace the ones back.
But the new ones will be compatible?
Or except for all of them.
For all.
So they'll either come and fix what we have for
$26.
or they'll put two brand new ones on for $221.
Plus their mileage.
But they're going to have that anyway, right?
Plus a $400 charge for labor, time,
And
travel, and mileage.
That's whether you get one or two.
Exactly.
So you're looking at $621 or $626.80.
See, we didn't know they didn't work on the motors. I mean, they don't pull sewer motors anymore. When
So
they pull them the
that's-
first time.
That
So
would
is
still
there
be an
somebody else to
addition.
have to? So there's
Well,
another.
So, yeah.
another
Well,
thing.
we've got a couple options.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think we can figure out what we're going to do with this first.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm a little confused. So
Okay.
the Smith Motor Company doesn't work on motors?
Not
Not-
anymore. They used to.
Pumps.
Oh, pumps, okay.
Yeah, it's a
Okay, so we need pumps and motors.
No, we
We need
just,
a pump and
we
motors.
need a pump with a grinder on it. A grinder pump.
And so those
That
figures
is-
you gave us are
This-
not
this
grinders?
is- No, this is just
That's electrical overload stuff.
electrical stuff, yeah.
Okay. So we have two vendors, two different products. One is
No,
the,
not two vendors, some people.
No, she's talking about for the pump, we have to get
Oh,
somebody.
yeah,
else.
Okay.
yeah.
To replace that motor.
Well, here's the deal with the pump. Once Austin is up and on his feet, I will talk to him about the pump. Because that's
He
what
knows
he,
about it.
that's what he did. That's what he did. So, and he can either, Smith said they thought it's even possible if we flush the pump out, pull the motor or the pump and flush it out, there might be a rock or something stuck in there. There's a possibility that something's just jammed it, and that's not why it's not functioning. But what I will do is, now that he's home, maybe next Monday, I'll talk to him and see if A, he has a recommendation on what we should do with it, and B, if he knows somebody in this area that he would recommend we get repaired by, or look at a new pump.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to pay somebody from Iowa, was there?
No.
Or was the Iowa for the
No.
electrical thing?
That was the
Yeah,
original.
they could come down from Iowa. I mean, that's what they did.
Yeah.
This is what's called a duplex grinder pump. That's what,
Take that too.
that's what it looks like.
Good idea.
so does it, would we be wise to get the electrical stuff the
That's
motor
what
work's
I'm wondering.
done before we get the pump done, or are they going to somehow, now we need a bigger motor because we got it?
No.
Is that what the consultation will tell us?
I don't know what Austin will tell us. I have, pumps are way out of my line of
But
work.
you know whether the motors are connected to the pumps or whatever.
They're in, them things are anywhere from $3,000.
Yeah, so that's why we're gonna talk to Austin
$3,000.
first. Yeah.
But these motor options,
Mhm.
tell us how they relate to the pump.
That's what keeps the pump in, like.
So we don't really need we don't really need the motors until we figure out what we're doing with the pump. Because the pump may need more capacity than what we currently have.
No, it'll be the same pump. Because it's gotta be the same
It
pump
has
to
to.
go in that hole.
Okay. So
There's two pumps in there, one's working now,
Right,
another one not.
right.
Then they alternate.
Right, when they both work.
Yeah.
Are these repairs for the one that's down, right? These are repairs are not for the pump that's running, but for the pump that's down, correct?
This one's for the one that's down right there.
Right.
That one there.
Right.
This one here is for both of them.
So,
Those are
I'm
motors, not
okay.
pumps.
No,
So-
these ain't motors.
No, these are the starters.
just-
So
those
what
are
they're
like-
saying is
They're motor starters.
they'll either put this on the one pump that's down or bring two and fix the pump that's running and the pump that's down. Put two new starters on them, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, it'd be cheaper, yeah.
But it doesn't do any good to put the motor on the pump that's down until the pump is working, right?
Right.
So we really can't put that cart before that horse, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
So I guess we go back and start with the pump. Right? Okay. This will be even more
I think
educating
that-
at our next meeting.
More what?
Well, I appreciate you getting the information and bids and having them talk to us and then explaining it to us so we can kind of
It
understand.
isn't really gonna make any difference, because you're gonna have to have that for
Right.
that pump to work.
Right. Do you think there's a benefit in getting it now rather than waiting until we do the pump? I mean, I guess in case the other, well, electrical, I don't know.
This thing is burnt out, this overload thing.
On the old one.
Right, on
The other one that's down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the other one's.
So they took the wires off the one that's working and put on the pump, and it made a little noise.
You did come in,
Yeah, they put it, they trimmed
yeah. It says it's not working.
it.
Which, the little noise, it means that they're,
It's stuck,
yeah,
yeah.
which could be a rock or could be whatever
Yeah,
else.
stick, or could be anything, could be a diaper, or,
So if we didn't act on this month, is that gonna hold up progress?
no, I mean, as long as,
I mean, because we're
As
gonna
long
get
as
the
the
guy.
other pump keeps
Right,
pumping.
that's all
Right,
right.
but that's a pump issue, not a motor issue. The only thing we can really act on right now that we need, I think, is the motor, right? For the one that doesn't work. So,
Well, that could they put the overloads on both of them, if the one, there's something stuck, and you're gonna need the overload on the stuck or broken one either way.
yeah.
I mean, we could get lucky, they replace the overload, and,
Yeah.
or something.
And-
See, David, they took the wires off the one that worked and put on the old one,
right,
and it just sit there and just
Hum.
made a noise. It
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 didn't
wouldn't
work.
work,
right,
yeah,
but you're gonna have to have compatible
yeah.
overloads on both, and
Right.
it's gonna cost the same to have them done.
And
And
what's
we
there?
want,
Well, that's just one, the $226, and to put the modern kind on now, let's say modern, they're $221 for both of them.
So that's.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
wait,
That's-
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what I'm
Logically, that
saying.
makes
Yeah.
the most sense, yeah.
is,
Yeah.
you
They'll
know,
last longer, they're newer, they're
Right,
maybe
yeah.
more
we should
efficient.
modernize for the same price and then worry about that second motor.
As soon as we can.
Exactly.
Can we make a motion
towards that?
Yeah, Denise, put that all in motion.
Right.
I give it, I
David's
I went on.
make a motion that we go with the,
You're gonna have to give me a whole motion because I wasn't paying attention.
Just started.
Jim.
What would you like?
I make a motion that we, accept or go with the two newer versions of the overloads for the pumps.
Good, David.
That's the Smith Motor Works, which does your motors.
I second it.
Good. Do you think, yeah,
All those in favor?
I was just trying to
It's gonna
think of
take
somebody
me a
I
little
can't
while.
sit again.
But now, do we also need a motion to have somebody who has some knowledge in this, as Austin, you said, does, to look at, I mean,
I think we can look at it.
or, I guess,
He can
yeah,
go ahead.
as long as he's not gonna charge us
Yeah.
for a consultation, I guess we probably don't need to have.
Not if he wants Christmas dinner.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim,
Are
for
we-
moving those hopping along.
I don't
Yes.
suppose you have a clean baggie for this thing, do you?
I'm sorry, it's been down in the lift station.
Oh, joy. Thank you for sharing
Not
that.
down there.
Not down that far.
On that.
Wow.
It was a lot worse than that. I had to
Have you cleaned it?
I tried.
Wow. What do you suppose this is on here?
Dust. It ain't nothing else.
Okay,
Lovely.
moving on,
Moving on.
from food to the spring fundraiser.
That's right.
All right,
Spring
fundraiser.
It shouldn't take so long.
I had a couple of gals who were really, really competent as far as taking who came in, marking off, that type of thing, any new people that didn't have reservations. But yet, I don't visualize seeing some people there, although she didn't have them marked down. Okay, so that's fine.
Never
It
mind.
appears that we had approximately 40 or 42.
I figured right around 45 was my guess.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that sounds about
So
right.
see,
42.
And some people paid more money,
Yeah.
so that's why
Yeah.
your numbers don't come out.
Right, okay.
I know people made it, say, they mentioned to me
Donation.
their wildflower
Right,
flowers, and
okay.
people are
My
making.
guess was right around 45, not including us.
okay, all right. Well, that's kind of that's kind of how I was coming out with this
Okay.
too. I made an executive decision today
Uh-oh.
when I was in Cameron, because I was one of the lucky winners
Oh,
of the pants.
Yes.
And so I went to JP's today, Peggy was there, and I spoke with Denise briefly and got permission to go ahead and buy Tammy a $25 gift certificate from JP's for all her hard work that she
Oh,
did
that's great.
for the for the fashion show, and she spends a lot of time on that. She researches the food, she shops around, she drives around. I mean, she's really into it. But for her, she calls it a challenge, she says. So she enjoys doing that. But nevertheless, she needs to be recognized for that. So it's a penance, but yet I'm sure it's something she appreciates, and I know she goes there because she had a pair of jeans on from there the other day.
So you got JP's? Okay,
Yes, so I got a $25 gift certificate at JP's.
In the past, we have given her
Oh,
yes.
some kind of a
Some.
gift certificate to
Right.
somewhere.
So, and I thought, kind of made sense that Peggy was good enough to
And
do
she
all she did.
Yes, she was.
So I went ahead and did that. That being said, I left the gift receipt in the
I was
Jeep.
gonna say.
So I moved that
Where
we
should we
give a gift certificate of $25 to Tammy Gay from, as a token of our great appreciation for her excellent work. And it's in the records, and we know that.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you need to vote on it.
Yeah.
So that's a second.
Second,
I'll leave the next.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, I just thought we might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And I have it in the Jeep. I
I
didn't
don't
know I was
like that.
riding over with Jim, and so.
Okay.
Do you want me to just mail it to her, or do you want me to get it to you with a card to mail to her? You let me know. You can put that
We've got
on.
a work day on Sunday.
Okay, I'll get it to you.
Yeah, either Natalie or.
I'm not going to be there.
You're not going to work day?
I'm going to be working. We're cleaning out my grandma's apartment.
Oh, never mind.
So I'm going to be there.
Okay.
I will drop it off here in town
Okay.
and leave it somewhere,
Yeah.
and I'll let you know where.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you for taking care of that.
Sure.
And did you tell Peggy how thankful
I
we
did.
were for her? Oh,
I did.
I mean,
And her first thing was, well, I really apologize because we got one outfit mixed up.
So not a problem.
So it was all
she
good.
gave,
That
just
worked
so
out.
she gave 25% off coupons
Yeah.
To everybody.
to everybody who came to the thing, and donated 3 pairs of a new kind of pants that she carries in her stores as door prize drawing.
Right.
Free
things.
door prize.
Yes, and furnished the clothes for the fashion
Peggy
show.
Peggy Knoll.
She has 3 different stores: JP Fashions in Cameron, Friends in Chillicothe, and Howard's in Trenton. So,
Very, very nice.
Yes, if I ever clear the top of the desk, we should probably say that. Thank you.
Oh, and speaking of that, I have sent out thank you notes to all the models and to the students and
Mr. Cook?
Yes. So those are mailed out, but I did not send any to any of those who helped, like Mary and Annie and Tammy and Nancy and
Elaine.
Elaine and all
I sent
those.
something to Tammy. Is Nancy Garnett who helps?
Yes.
As Tom, her husband?
Yes.
I didn't know for sure the address. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did not.
and
Models and the students.
we all discussed it that day, the high school kids, I thought, did wonderful.
Yeah.
They were
That's the best thing
on
I've
it.
ever.
You need to fill out the form.
That was super.
Yes.
They help serve and.
They helped serve, yes, and they were there at 10 o'clock and helped cut desserts and make cards, stating what
You were standing
all
around
the
waiting
words,
to see
sitting
the
around
carry
waiting to see
something.
if they could
Annie's
help
really good.
unload clothes out of vehicles, and they did really, really
Great,
well.
they did.
Yeah.
And trust the kids.
What else we got?
Okay,
So do we have
I have
the income
something.
expense?
Yeah.
Money?
As it stands from April 13th, which is when I did the tally and made the deposits and that, we took in $664 for the luncheon, $117 for the raffle, and $50 on the plant sale. What, sweetie? That gave us a total of $831. Now, these figures are going to change because we have received more money. Our expenses, food, Tammy's bill was $205. Supplies were $30, and that was for, I purchased the country time and something else.
The dessert plates.
The dessert plates. And then the ad was $30, so our expenses were $265. Seed money is out of this figure, it's not in this, okay?
That's something with $7.50 for gallon policy.
I
That
have-
wasn't the ad.
No, the ad was 30. This came in before, I don't know what this
It was
is.
in your thing.
Yeah, no, it's mine.
Okay.
Something we owed $7 on, that they, I didn't call them to find out what it was. I know, but okay. I could find out if you want to know. It was probably something that,
Well, it shouldn't have been on the ad that I placed because I paid for that.
it's $7.50 display ad, and I didn't, it's the ballots. Something for the ballots, invoice on the ballots, it says on the corner there.
Thanks, Innocent. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anyway,
So roughly we made 600 and
566 is where we're at right now, but there is more money that has come in, so I'll have a further accounting. Tammy brought the meal in just a little over $2 a plate.
Which is just.
yeah,
crazy.
because it was really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that. Now, we did have a lot left over because we went on the high side hoping that we would have a walk-ins
Like what we did last year.
And the
Yeah,
decorations for
this is
beautiful.
actually the first year we were this low. We've always served between, the first year I think we served 100.
We served 60 something. I think
The
we were
first
over
year?
100. Yeah.
Really?
I thought we were up there the first year close to 100.
Okay.
And then we were like at 90
Yeah, last year.
last year.
Yes, 91 last year.
Yeah. I don't remember. But anyway, this is the lowest we've been, but there were a lot of activities that went on. If you choose to do this fundraiser again, we'll make some notes, and I think it's really a valid fundraiser. And from everything Jan and I have tackled in the past, we also think, all things considered, it's less work in the long run versus some of the things we've done. So, but
Thank
that's,
you all for your
yes,
hard
thank
work.
you.
You guys worked hard.
Well, it was all a joint effort with everybody, so.
And everybody enjoyed it. I mean, we just get nothing but compliments. We didn't even get a meal sent back this year, I don't think, did we? Last year we had one person
Yes.
not happy with the food. But that was their problem, not ours. So, again, it is very well received. And I think our commissioners did an excellent
Yes.
job. They weren't too funny.
Yeah, they did.
They won't admit it, but I really think that they.
Well, Carl had it all. We know Carl did.
I think they did have a good time.
Okay. Moving on, ordinance violation complaint review panel.
I didn't know, I left it on there.
Right.
We slid by it last time. I thought we'd see where we are this time.
Yeah, and I said that I would bring it, and I looked at it, but Because I think we need, my recommendation or conversation starter, it's not a recommendation, would be that we decide as a board, like maybe at the next meeting that we'll pick someone to do that, and we'll have a public meeting where everybody's got the ordinances in their hands, and we go through them and talk about them, and then if we need to do any tweaking after the community discussion about what we've done, we can do that, you know, and it doesn't need to be our regular meeting, we have a special meeting to do that. And then, if we're gonna enforce them, then let's get our committee going and let's going. But we've always said, I believe, my understanding was we've always said that we're gonna have a community meeting and that we're all gonna go through these ordinances together. And the sooner we do that, we can either get off the pot or do something, you know. And whatever that decision is, I just think we need to decide and go forward. That's my right. Or don't go anywhere, but decide. Make it intentional instead of just kind of drifting from month to month. That's my suggestion.
I think that's a good idea.
And I do have copies of the ordinances that were effective back to June something, and I think the only thing we've changed since then, I mean.
You should have the most current set I passed out.
Yeah, they say, I guess
Okay.
then we just get
So
that.
I just
Yeah.
made copies
Yours is
of
in the
the
back
others
of your
before,
book.
and I'm glad to make them again for every resident or every household.
Thank
So I didn't bring that tonight because I thought that was more of a, let's see who comes to the meeting, and if they're interested in applying for the committee, and, you know, that would be a way to have more information for people to see if they want to participate.
You don't have applications made up yet?
I do have application forms, but we haven't distributed them, because I don't think people know what we're asking them for. But, I mean, people have come to meetings too, but we're not enforcing the ordinances yet. And so that's why I thought if we had the meeting, finalize the ordinances, then the people who are on the committee know what the ordinances are, and the whole community does, because they're written down in the
So do we have a date for that meeting?
Well, I don't know if we want to do it at our next meeting, if we want to have a special meeting before
I think
then.
it should be a
or-
special
Yeah.
meeting.
I agree too, I think so too.
So who decides when that's going to be?
You're in the group.
Yeah. May is gonna be busy with
With school
school
and
and
stuff.
everything
Of
else.
course, May is our next meeting.
Our next meeting is the 21st. Yes.
Thursday.
What does it say on the bottom?
Yes,
January.
21st. No,
Oh,
21st is our next board meeting
of May.
in May.
And you'd want it before then.
We want to have when people would come. You know, we could get publicity out and copies made and distributed. But I think sooner is better. I know, I don't have kids in school either, so I don't know all the,
I don't have a calendar for any of the school stuff, I don't know. I mean, the 14th is the Thursday before our next meeting.
yeah.
I mean, do you think that?
So that would be a week ahead of our
A
regular.
week ahead of our regular board meeting.
So we try it for then?
Is there anything, you know, nothing on my calendar, I try and put things on there, even though I'm maybe
And
not.
that's all we would be discussing at that
May
meeting.
14th to discuss, so it would be, that would be the
Thursday.
open town meeting where
Yes.
go
Yeah.
through all the ordinances and
Yeah.
yay, nay, or whatever, and then you guys do the final thing the next week.
Yeah, I think that, and appoint the, yeah,
Yeah,
ask people at
and
that
ask
meeting.
people then. I mean, because I think,
I
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I think a week is
do too.
enough time to.
And I think people who come to the meeting will be the ones most interested in being on the board, you know, the enforcement committee or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
they'd be the most informed anyway, and I think that's worth something.
Yeah.
Is there a time, what time do you think is best for residents?
I say 6:30. I mean,
I mean,
It's your county.
yeah, if we go late.
if we go late, then we're here till 9:30 or 10 o'clock at
I was
night.
thinking, so-
Or if
do
you
you
start
wanna
at 9,
take
you might get through at
6 or-
10.
Yeah. But I think we'll have to have some organization to it, and if we can get the materials out ahead of time, then people can look at them, like when we announce the meeting or something.
Now, how do you want to do that?
Well,
May 14th.
I would suggest, and I'm glad to make copies, so I know you said I have one, but I also know what my filing system looks like at the moment. If you could you, Denise, please email me the current ones, or are they,
It's on,
On
it's,
the
it's on
village-
the website.
okay, I'll
Right,
go
the
from there.
current one is on,
Right.
and that might be the
that's fine,
easiest way to tell people
That's
to,
it. Yeah, we can do that.
is that
But,
they can
you
get.
know, some of us could ride around in golf carts and say, you know, we're just out trying to meet the public, we're your town board, and here's we're having a meeting, you might be interested, and if not, here are the materials, whether you come to the meeting or not, we can know what's going on.
Well, we've always said, once we got to this step, that we would supply a copy to,
Right.
one copy.
To the house.
I thought we already gave everybody a copy.
I have some,
We've
we
tried,
did,
but
we
it
didn't-
doesn't always pan out the way it's supposed to. But they are on the website, they are current
On the website.
on the website.
Okay.
I've had trouble printing, but I think you guys fixed that so I could print, and I haven't tried since then.
Yeah.
But, so,
Okay, let's do that.
but that means we have to do that in the next couple of weeks, so we'll have time to look at it and all that. But, and again, then we can just mark down who we're able to reach and who we're not able to reach. And if we need to mail them to people, we can mail them, or if somebody can, we can follow up, because, well, I know my neighbor wasn't there, but I'll make sure she gets it or whatever.
I'm willing to ride around with anybody doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you'll post notice you'll need to post notice at the post office and here. Okay?
You're saying I need to do that, or you're saying go do that? What I'm saying here. I agree that needs to be done. I agree that needs to be done.
I don't plan on attending the meeting.
Okay, if you'll print them though, if you would print the notices, like put them up, or have them.
You tell me what you want on the notice, email it to me, and I'll put a notice for it and I'll post it for you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, notice info.
And we should get that out
Polio.
ASAP, so next week.
Okay, okay, star by, okay.
Because I'm not doing it anymore this week.
Yeah.
I think.
And the notices, the wording's the same for wherever we put it, so I'll do
I
that.
mean, this week, tomorrow's Friday.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I know. I have firehouse duty tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Denise.
Okay? And we'll post it here in the hall.
And we'll have a meeting, a town meeting on the 14th at 6:30.
And
Here in the
before then,
Lions
we'll
Hall,
distribute
before then,
the
everybody
And
will
I will have
receive.
Paul put it on the website, Danielle.
Thank you.
I've done them half a dozen times, they're fine.
Thank you.
They're as good as they're gonna get.
We're gonna wrestle this stuff together. I just think it gets us, okay.
Danielle, you've been very good.
Yes, she has.
We're just about done.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
Anybody have any new business?
oh yeah, don't be silly.
No.
Jim and I both have new business.
All right,
Well, this is for your minimum wage maintenance.
Yeah.
thing that's supposed to
Yeah.
go too.
right.
And I'll just throw out there real quick too, Lions Club is, I guess with or without your permission, is wanting to extend on to the shelter house. It needs to be longer, it needs to be, that way, when we have our picnic and that type of thing, we don't
On
have
the
to.
stage, the whatever.
Well, for the shelter house.
the shelter
Food
house.
stand,
Food
food
stand.
stand.
Oh,
We're gonna extend
okay.
that even further out.
Okay.
Every year we have to rent a tent, and that's fine,
Oh,
but
right, okay.
that starts adding up. And so I think, it would be in our best interest as a Lions Club to just extend out a little
And
further.
they're doing
I don't know how
materials and
further.
labor, and they
Yeah,
talk about
Lions Club's
24
gonna be
feet.
fine.
I can fill it with more
Expense.
refrigerators.
Yeah, that too, except it's just gonna be the shelter house part itself. It's not the
Yeah.
Seating
club
part.
area. Just, so we don't have to rent it. I'm not sure how much longer, I don't know.
I heard
how many
24
feet.
feet, but I don't know. But it's still not quite as
So-
big as a tent, but they're running material. We own the park, but there are other entities that use it, and they provide the insurance, they pay the electric bill, and they, do a lot of that stuff, but they still don't wanna act without us being aware. Because they say, well, what is the park, and we don't know.
Definite asset.
Yeah,
it really-
exactly.
So I think that that's good.
And it help, if we loan the park out, for reunions or
Right,
different
we use
things
it.
like that,
Yeah.
exactly.
We've had town things like with Jeremy,
Yeah.
we've had different things.
Which, by the way, the Lewis family